Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to BlueJayTV.com. At Elmhurst College at Langhorse Field, you're watching Elmhurst College men's soccer as the Blue Jays set to face Loras College, the Dewhawks of Loras College. My name is Kevin Jude. Glad you could be with us tonight. Elmhurst coming in 3-1-2 on the season, fresh off of an impressive road victory over Dominican, 3-1. That was last week. Meanwhile, the Dewhawks check in 15th in the nation with a 4-2 overall record. Dewhawks lost to Chicago last week 3-0, but then bounced back to shut out Carthage 4-0. On the season, the Dewhawks only 2 losses to Chicago, opened with an overtime loss against Aurora before beating Wheaton, topping St. Olaf in OT, edging St. John's 1-0, and the other win coming against Carthage. As we are underway, we'll get through the starting lineups here quickly. As the opening kick runs all the way down over the end line. Starters in goal for both teams, Jacob Peterson, the goalkeeper for the Dewhawks, 6'2", 205-pound senior from Fenwick High School nearby. Entering today's game a 1.35 goals against average, 30 saves, a 789 saves percentage, and he's got both shutouts on the season. Played all but 19 minutes of the net in goal. Meanwhile, for the Blue Jays, it's Nick King, 6'1", 160-pound senior from Downers Grove South High School. He's played every minute of the season in goal for Elmhurst. A 0.61 goals against average, a save percentage of 900. 3 shutouts on the year. Rest of the starting lineups look like this. For Loras, it's Anthony Berardi, Miles McDonald, Ryan Paczewski, Javi Simone, Marcus Singleton, Michael Pennant, Spencer Moore, Mark Histad, Mark Broderick, and Ike Bruns. For the Blue Jays, King in goal, Lucas Weatherby Janssen, Uriel Martinez, Sam Johnson, Andrew Hicks, Zach Clements, Luke Deal, David Bez, Matt McNamara, J.D. Garnett, Angel Carino for the Jays. Second goal kick coming up for Nick King. King bangs that one across midfield, headed down by the Dewhawks. Taken by Zach Clements. Clements had a pair of goals last week. Center referee saw that going to the Dewhawks. Linesman had the flag up for Elmhurst. Will go towards the Dewhawks on the throw-in. Officials for tonight, Nicola Alexis in the middle. Jordan Promut, Christoph Bajorek have the lines. Here's Sam Johnson, cutting far side. Slides back Zach Clements. Takes a look, tries to turn on some speed, some contact. It'll roll over the line. Trying to draw a foul, no call, and a goal kick coming up here for Peterson. Dewhawks in the purple and white with the all-white numbers on the back. Elmhurst in the all-white jerseys, blue numbers, navy blue numbers on the back. Headed up into the air, Simone giving chase. Played to the far side, volleyed out of the air by David Bez and boomed free into the Elmhurst bench. Simone, the leading scorer for the Dewhawks. He's got 13 points on 6 goals, 1 assist, 17 shots. Pair of game-winning goals as well. Meanwhile, for the Blue Jays, it's Zach Clements. We mentioned him already. 11 points, 4 goals, 3 assists, 13 shots. Had a pair of goals in the win over Dominican. Both of those were penalty kick goals. The first 3 goals of the game for Dominican and Elmhurst were penalty kicks before the Blue Jays got an insurance goal late. Johnson being shadowed by Paczewski. It will come back to the Loras defense. And Berardi. Berardi, plenty of time, will choose to bring it up himself. Now fires downfield. Met there by Weatherby Janssen and headed free. Headed around some more. Hicks there for the Blue Jays, trying to free McNamara towards the middle. Clements gets there instead for Elmhurst. His long pass broken up nicely by the Dewhawks, but McNamara there to take it away. Springs Clements on the far sideline. McDonald hawking him on the far side. Clemens with a step in, trying to cut in. Got a leg on it, but was not deflected. Contact again. Clemens goes down, but it'll be a goal kick coming up again for Peterson. Not quite 5 minutes gone by. No real chances for either team just yet. No fouls, no shots, nothing so far. A couple of goal kicks, and that's it. Swept towards the near sideline, out of play. Off an Elmhurst leg. It'll be a throw-in for the Dewhawks and Michael Perhatz. Lobs it to the near side. Simone works on David Bez. Goes off of Bez. It'll be a throw-in again for the Dewhawks. A little further deep in Elmhurst territory. Ike Bruins will come up and lob this one in for the Dewhawks. Bruins will start way back on the track and will look to lob this one straight into the box. There it is. Headed down, but not out yet. Bounces off a leg. Bruins controls for the Dewhawks. Centers back towards the middle. Getting free and shooting and scoring. Spencer Moore with the goal. At 39:19 left to go. Give the assist to Ike Bruins. First goal of the season for Moore. Action restarted. The Blue Jays find themselves in an early hole, down 1-0 to the Dewhawks after the Spencer Moore goal. The first action going in the scorebook today was that shot and goal from Spencer Moore. Dewhawks out to an early edge, 1-0. Dewhawks pushing again. Martinez will volley it out of the air and cross midfield. Flicked ahead by Clemens, but out of bounds, and a throw-in coming for Loras. With exception to Aurora and Chicago, goals have been hard to come by for Loras opponents. Gave up 4 to Aurora in the season opening loss, 3 to Chicago. Just 1 to Wheaton, shut out St. Olaf and St. John's, and then shut out Carthage as well. Centering pass by the Dewhawks, steered clear by Elmhurst, not out yet. Turning and clearing that one, and that gets under a Loras leg, but it's swept right back in. Chested down by the Dewhawks. Simone shooting and pushes it wide. Got a good look, but Javi Simone shot it wide. "37 minutes left to go in half number 1. Blue Jays have been pretty stingy themselves with goals allowed. Only have allowed multiple goals in one game. That was against Rutgers Newark, the only loss on the season so far this year for the Jays. That was a 2-1 loss. They shut out Greenville and Principia to open the year. Here's Bez pushing forward. Pushed wide. Coming out to keep that one in play is Peterson. Elmhurst also shut out Drew University. That was a 0-0 tie. They drew Concordia, Wisconsin, only allowing 1 goal. And then only allowed the penalty kick goal to a very solid Dominican team. But the Dewhawks have first blood and lead at 1-0. Johnson heads it back down to Clements. Can't keep it in. It'll be a throw-in for Loras one more time. Perhats lobbing inside. Swept away, headed down. Loras controls, though. Spencer Moore's had the first goal. It will go out of bounds and a throw-in for Loras. Far side, it's Miles McDonald who will have the honor. Nope, check that. He'll drop it for Ike Bruins instead. Bruins lobbing that one in again. Headed around, not out. Moore controls on the near sideline. Centering pass is headed back towards the near sideline. And it goes off of Moore's leg. It'll be a throw-in for the Blue Jays. Pumped into the air by Bruins. Moore trying to get a fancy pass. Spring it couldn't work, but here's a turnover by the Jays. Simone pushing to the far sideline, giving chase to Singleton. He will get there and keep it in. Singleton in with a couple steps. Singleton, a little fancy footwork. Shoots it on the ground and swallowed up by Nick King. Trying to find Simone in the middle. Singleton some good steps inside, and King just laid out on that one, dove and smothered it. Lobbed in for the Dewhawks and headed out of bounds. On the ground, it'll come all the way to King. Line drive kick across midfield, headed out of the air by the Dewhawks and Pachuski. Be an Elmhurst throw, and this about as deep as Elmhurst has been with a possession. Had a couple challenges that rolled out. No shots for the Blue Jays just yet. 3 for the Dewhawks. Just over 10 minutes gone by. Elmhurst trying to position for a corner kick. It's poked out. It will be a throw-in for the Jays. Matt McNamara will have the honors for the Blue Jays from the near corner. Hopped into the feet of Johnson, trying to turn and couldn't get the shot off. Alertly smothered by Peterson. Great look by the Blue Jays, but Johnson just couldn't get the shot loose before Peterson got there to scoop it up. Here comes Loras looking to counter. Prehats pushes it across the field far side. Moore has it taken away. Here's Sam Johnson for the Blue Jays. He's got Clements cutting down the middle, but didn't have the angle. Pushes back to McNamara. McNamara looks for Clements, and it's taken away by the Dewhawks. Here's Ike Bruins. Bangs it down the sideline for Moore. giving chase. Did he keep it in? Yes, he did. Moore works his way back towards the middle, stood up there and taken away by the Blue Jays. McNamara for Johnson. Steered away by Loras. That one hops into the box, and King alertly out to field it on the one hop. 1-0 Loras, 31 minutes, 5 seconds left to go in half number 1. 3-0 on shots right now. Over the head of Johnson. Popped into the air by Paczewski. Getting there first for Elmhurst is Garnett. Steered out of play by the Dewhawks, and a throw in for Elmhurst. Lobbed in by Bez. Here's Carino. Looks for some help. He's got Garnett up the near side, poked off the foot of Prehats. At the feet of Sam Johnson for Elmhurst. Johnson spins a couple times, leaves for Clemens. Clemens slips to Garnett. Little touch pass on to Carreno. Tries to keep it in on the end line. He does, and this one is booted clear. And the Blue Jays will get the game's first corner kick. Substitution now for Elmhurst as well. Austin Culver checks in. Check that. It was not a corner kick, just a throw-in for the Blue Jays, but it's headed away by Loras one more time. It's the only sub so far as Culver comes in. And out went McNamara. McNamara, I think, was banged up in the Dominican game. King will carry this one out almost to the 20-yard line and then boom it downfield. Under the leg of Garnett. That one booted straight up into the air by Loras. Broderick finds it. Pounds that one downfield. King will come up to the top, field it on 2 hops, and control for Elmhurst. King will let his team get downfield. Low line drive kick. Near midfield, it's volleyed out by Ross. Played ahead. Here's Simone. Working one-on-one. Little fancy footwork. Lost his foot for a second. Whistle, and here's the first foul of the game. Goes against the Blue Jays and Weatherby Janssen. And Loras going to have a good opportunity here from the 10-yard line. 20 yards out of net. Blue Jays wall going to have to go back to the football goal line. Put it down at about the 11, actually. Mark Histet will have the free kick for the Dewhawks. Referee backs up the wall, a 5-player Blue Jay wall. Trying to take away the angle. Let's see. Here's Histet on the approach. Leaping into the air and off the back of an Elmhurst player. That was Clemens who went sky high and took it off the back, out of bounds, and a throw-in. Ike Bruins will lob in near sideline. Gets the run up one more time. Looking for Simone. Did it go off a Blue Jay? It did, so it will be a corner kick coming up for Loras. First corner of the game. Spencer Moore will take it for the Dewhawks. He had the first goal. Moore drops the arm. Centers back towards the middle, and Simone got a foot on that one as he went tumbling down, but booted it well high over the net. King with another goal kick for Elmhurst. 26 minutes, 25 seconds left in the first half. King boots that one all the way to the opposite 35-yard line. It's met by a head for Loras and blasted right back into the box, where King will trap it with his foot, play it out short to Weatherby Janssen. Janssen with some space to time to take a look. Looks for Garnett. It's broken up by the Dewhawks, though. Chip back ahead for Simone. Weatherby Janssen there again for Elmhurst. And he blasts that one far sideline, well clear of the Loras bench. Not a play. A throw-in coming for the Dewhawks. Clements heads that one into the air. Pulling it down now, Carino for Elmhurst. Looks for Clements right in front of the Dewhawk bench. Clements trying to create some space towards the middle. Stops, spins, changes directions. Back towards the top, and now we'll work towards, leaves it for Carino. Shot into the box, into the air. Trying to connect with Hicks coming down, with Andrew Hicks cutting down the middle for Elmhurst and pulled out of the air by Peterson. Good look for the Blue Jays. Carino will play that one out of play into the Dewhawk bench area, and a throw in for Loras as we've played the first 20 minutes of half number one. Steered out of harm's way momentarily. Bruins knocks it all the way back down. It'll be a throw-in for the Blue Jays on the near sideline. Pinballed around. It'll be another throw-in for the Blue Jays. Off a couple heads. Last off the head of Prehatz Loras. Prehatz again. Flicked ahead by Moore. And leaves for Prehatz. Moore, here's Simone. Centering pass. Comes right back to him by the Blue Jays. Plenty of room. Prehatz walks in, winds, and blasts it well wide. Prehatz had the space, walked into the box and let it fly, but just shot it well wide. Substitution now for Loras. Moore out, Alex Herrera in. King sends it downfield, headed on by the Blue Jays. Knocked back by Machewski. Popped into the air over the head of Clements. Carino got a foot on it. McNamara steers for Johnson in front of the Dewhawk bench. Sam Johnson will play it back to his defense in Weatherby Janssen. Clements pops it into the air. Here's Garnett. Leaves it for Clements. Clements trying to get a step in and broken up nicely at the last second by Loras and Berardi. Clements controls. That one goes off. Looked like it went off an arm. No call. Play on. Looked like it went off the arm of Bruins. Bruins does a nice job to try to keep it in. He could not. It's a throw-in for Elmhurst. Garnett's throw-in headed right back to him. Taken away now by the Dewhawks and Berardi. Weatherby Janssen couldn't find it, but neither could Simone. He controls now for Loras. This is Ross streaking in. He will not catch up to it in time. Goal kick for the Blue Jays. Substitution now for Loras as well. Marcus Singleton in. And Simone will have a seat. King's been busy with the goal kicks. We've played more than half of the opening 45. 21 minutes, 13 seconds left to go in half number one. Singleton leaves for Ross. Centering pass is headed right back out by the Blue Jays, right back to Ross. He'll take the throw in. And another Dewhawk substitution from the far side. Looks like Ross coming out. Liam O'Connell in. Throw in by Bruins is popped back up out of the box by the Dewhawks, but back to the feet of Bruins. Highliner met by Martinez for the Blue Jays and headed out of the box. Volleyed back in, flicked ahead by Broderick, but it will roll over the line, and another goal kick for Elmhurst and another substitution now for Loras. Manny Lopez in, Broderick out. King fires that one downfield. Elmhurst still yet to record a shot in this contest. Here's Clements to Johnson. Johnson, the closest man to have a shot, had a great ball, came in and tried to get around a defender and just couldn't pull the trigger before it was smothered by Peterson. Poked out of bounds, throw in for the Blue Jays, far sideline right in front of the Loras bench. Double team pressure, but it went off a Loras leg, and a throw in again a little further up. Headed on by Loras, and now the Blue Jays will have their first corner. Zach Clements will take it from the corner, far sideline. Elmhurst has been pretty successful on set pieces so far this year. Clements drops the hand. Here it comes. Looks for Johnson. It's headed up and in the air by Loras and McDonald. Cleared out of harm's way. Played towards the far side. Carino gives chase, gets there first for Elmhurst. Now Martinez will blast it back downfield. It's headed right back towards midfield by the Dewhawks, where it's controlled by Prihatz. To Singleton. Touched on to Herrera. Herrera centering pass. Sliding play by Martinez to keep it out. Bruins steps up in the middle and takes it for the Dewhawks. Now it comes back out up top for Loras. Slipped over to Bruins. Chips for the far side, and now Carino will send it into the Elmhurst bench out of play. Another Dewhawk sub as Loras continues to change. Chris Alfaro into the contest. Sliding play and whistle, and a foul goes against the Dewhawks. And we're going to stop the clock. Not a card, one of the stern talking tos by the official. So Elmhurst with a free kick from their 22. Clock will restart on the touch by the Blue Jays. Very pretty clean contest so far. King blasts that one towards the top. Garnett will lob and shoot it wide. First shot of the contest for Elmhurst. Just one foul apiece. Officials letting him play so far. Clock moving 16 minutes and 50 seconds. Peterson sends it downfield. Off of Clements. Garnett gets there for the Blue Jays. Johnson giving chase. He's got Clements streaking towards the middle, but it's broken up again nicely by Paczewski. Weatherby Janssen, now Bez for Elmhurst. Plays it back towards the middle. Berardi has time, takes a look, and lets it go back to Peterson. Peterson will walk it up for the Dewhawks. Johnson will make a little approach, and now Peterson bangs it downfield. Andrew Hicks shoots it downfield for the Blue Jays. There for Elmhurst is Johnson. Johnson back to Hicks. Will slide over to Weatherby Janssen. He's got some space. Plays down towards the middle. Blasting that one all the way into space. It's going to roll all the way. Would have rolled out if they let it, but Peterson will trap it with the feet and bring it back into the box. Peterson sends a kick spinning in air down to the near sideline, headed on by the Blue Jays, headed right back by Prehats. Whistle and a foul goes against Loras as Garnett hit the deck. So free kick just on their own side of midfield, and Lucas Weatherby Janssen will have the honors for the Blue Jays. Aiming towards the far side, headed, and a save by Peterson, still loose. And it'll be a corner kick coming up as Hicks got a head on it, and Peterson had to drop to the deck to sprawl for that save. So Elmhurst ready for their second corner of the contest. Clements will tee it up as we've played more than 2/3 of this first half. Line drive to the far side, headed down, and coming out and getting that one is Peterson. Nicely played by Berardi, shadowing Elmhurst the entire way. It was Luke Deal, the man sprinting around the defense, trying to get the head on it, and Berardi shadowed him off just so he didn't get enough on it. And an easy save instead for Peterson. So just like that, though, the Blue Jays have registered some shots and made Peterson work. Here is Lopez. Touches on for space for Singleton. Singleton couldn't keep it in, and we've got substitutions now. A goal kick coming up for Elmhurst again. So a couple substitutions. Josh Arvidsson into the game for Elmhurst. Jackson Cowman in for the Dewhawks. So blasted and shot wide. Good look from about 30 yards out, and the Dewhawks didn't miss by much. That was Liam O'Connell. Another substitution, Connor McGarry in for the Dewhawks as the clock rolling, 12:23 left to go. 1-0 Loras. They've outshot Elmhurst 6-3 in the first half so far. 2 saves for Peterson, 1 save for King. Both teams with 2 shots on goal. Here's Josh Arvidsson, his first touch of the game. Poked clear by the Dewhawks, throw in for Elmhurst. Clemens will elect to go back towards David Bez. Bez will chip it ahead. Volleyed out of the air by the Dewhawks. Headed forward now by Loras. Here's Singleton. Singleton walking up towards the middle, shooting. His shot blocked. Back is Alfaro looking to send it in. That one's deflected as well. Headed into the air. And getting upended on that play was Culver, and a foul goes against Loras. So free kick for Elmhurst again, just across their own 45-yard line as the clock winding down, 10:45. Weatherby Janssen with the boot, headed back for the Blue Jays. Hicks taken away by Kalaman. Played towards some space. Who will win the foot race? And Elmhurst will, in the form of Angel Carino. And the Blue Jays will play this one back to King. Some pressure put on by the Dewhawks, but King slams that one downfield all the way across midfield. It's headed down back across by the Dewhawks. Weatherby Janssen took a look, and he'll come back to the feet of Nick King one more time. Line drive kick across midfield, headed on by Clements. Gets around one defender, headed again by Clements. Pressured into the box. It comes now to the near sideline. Arvidsson trying to spin and didn't get much on it, and Peterson able to swallow it up. That one off the head of a Dewhawk player. King will pick it up and then will immediately drop to his feet. Some space for Weatherby Janssen. Looking for Arvidsson. Arvidsson gets there. Can he keep it in? No, he can't. Headed out of play by Coleman. The Blue Jays with the quick toss in. Here's Clements. Or excuse me, make that Arvidsson. Arvidsson steps around his defender, passes back towards Carreno. And Carreno pushes it wide, out of bounds. But it went off of a leg of Loras, so a corner kick coming up for the Blue Jays. So corner kick for the Blue Jays. Angling towards the far side, headed back across and out of bounds. Did it go off another Loras head? Yes, it did one more time. Corner number 4 for Elmhurst now, as Clements will try it again. Headed back off an Elmhurst head this time, and it will be a throw-in. Excuse me, no, went off a Loras head again. So another still Elmhurst possession of the far sideline and a throw-in. Clock winding down, under 7 minutes to go. Blue Jays toss it in for the feet of Arvidsson. Arvidsson centering pass is broken up by the Dewhawks, pushed out. Will go to the opposite corner this time. Elmhurst with their most sustained pressure so far. This their third corner kick here in the last minute. Clements will try it one more time. Angles for the far side. Punching that one out is Peterson. And it will roll over the line for a throw-in for the Blue Jays. Garnett looked for the quick restart, didn't have it as Loras was ready for it. To the feet of Josh Arvidsson. Touchback to Garnett. Garnett chips that one back towards the middle. Pushed into the air by the Dewhawks. And out into some open space now. Giving chase and pushing it right back was Elmhurst and Luke Deal. And headed out of bounds by Perhats. And another throw-in for the Blue Jays. 5:35 left to go. Clements with the deep throw. That one skips all the way across the box. Hicks getting out, but Peterson there to poke it back out into the Dewhawks bench. Substitutions for both squads coming now. Throw in for the Blue Jays. Chipped into the box, headed or cleared out by Weatherby Janssen. As the Dewhawks looking to counter. Raduel Ferrero is for the Dewhawks. Back all the way to the box for Nick King. He will steer that one back towards the middle, winding down to 3.5. Cody Reif, Jimmy Ralph in for the Dewhawks at the last sub. Eden Galvez is in as well. Steered out of bounds by Elmhurst as Loras putting on the pressure as we hit 3 minutes to go in half number one. Jimmy Ralph will walk up and take the throw in for Loras. Loras stacking up in the box. Headed into the air, still loose, deflected around. Headed once by the Dewhawks and now headed out by the Blue Jays. Herrera possesses for Loras. Pokes that one into open space. It'll roll over the line, and a goal kick coming up again for the Blue Jays and Nick King. And another Loras sub. Dewhawks have cycled through an awful lot of substitutions here in the first half. Broken up by Carino. Under 2 minutes to go. Opportunity for the Blue Jays. Garnett pushing for the far side. It doesn't get through. Play to some space, trying the give and go, broken up by Elmhurst and boomed back downfield by Weatherby Johnson. We hit 1.5 minutes to go. Singleton was there for Loras. Elmhurst controls. Simone puts it on the ground. Here's Arvidsson. Chipped in, and into the net it goes! David Bez from Josh Arvidsson, and the Blue Jays have pulled level. So Elmhurst with the equalizer just before the half. Bez from Arvidsson, how it goes down in the books. Just volleyed out of the air and knocked into the upper corner. So down to 30 seconds to go in half number one as the Blue Jays with the equalizer from David Bez. Elmhurst will be content to take a 1-1 tie at the half as we're under 20 seconds to go. Loras going to try to get something started here at the last few seconds. Referee's going to back him up. This is right in front of the Elmhurst bench. We're under 10 to go. High toss. Elmhurst just trying to get a hand on, or a foot on it. Knocked into the air and steered clear, and that will do it. Horn sounds. Half number one is in the books as Elmhurst and Loras are dead even at 1-1 after a very entertaining first half. 7 shots to 5 in favor of Loras, but score on the board, all that matters. 1-1 after 45 minutes. We'll step away and be back with the call of the second half. You're watching Elmhurst College men's soccer on BlueJayTV.com. Back for the start of action on second half on BlueJayTV.com. Elmhurst and Loras in men's soccer dead even at 1 apiece. Duhawk struck first. 5 minutes into the contest, Spencer Moore collecting the centering pass from Ike Bruins and scoring his first. Blue Jays had a little magic left at the very end of the half, just over 1:06 left on the clock. It was a touch from J.D. Garnett, touched on by Josh Arvidsson, and David Bez flicked it out of midair into the upper corner of the far post to even things up at 1-1. That one headed in by Loras, headed right back out by the Blue Jays. Throw-in coming for the Duhawks. Escapes a couple heads, popped into the air by Hicks, headed back forward by the Blue Jays, and now King diving down to collect that one for Elmhurst. And Elmhurst players shaken up. We're going to stop the clock. Calling for the training staff here for the injured Elmhurst player. Most of the starters back for both squads here to start half number 2. Up and coming off the field for the Blue Jays, Luke Deal. So Deal out. Hopefully he'll be okay for Elmhurst. King will boot it away. Griffin Andes, the man in for the Blue Jays in place of Deal. Chip forward, far side. Here's Loras with an opportunity, sprinting down the far sideline. King coming out and breaking it up with a nice sliding play was Griffin Andes. So a corner kick coming up here for Loras, just their second. Spencer Moore will tee it up for the Dewhawks. Headed on, and it does not get through to King. Cleared out by by Martinez. Throw-in coming for the Dewhawks and Bruins near sideline. Bruins. Back towards the middle, headed into play. Trying to get the shot off and just pushing it wide was Ryan Ross. So the Blue Jays dodge a bullet as the Dewhawks just miss. And it looks like Luke Deal is okay. He's back in. Nick King boots it downfield for the Blue Jays. Touched on by Hicks, sent right back downfield by the Dewhawks. Moore will give chase, but King out to the top of the box and handles that one. Comes right back for Loras. Collected by Simone. Aiming towards the far side, and McDonald coming across the field. McDonald gets there. Tangled up with Martinez. McDonald keeps his feet, gets around one man. Centering pass is off the leg of Deal, and the Dewhawks will get the corner kick from the near sideline. This is the third corner for Loras. As the Dewhawks starting out just like they did in the first half with the pressure on. Moore. Angles far side. It's touched on by the ground and it's touched on wide by the Dewhawks again. King will toss that one out, giving chase is Clements. Clements working on Moore. Moore takes it away. Moore tangled up with Clements and a foul on Elmhurst. Clements pleads his case but won't get it, and a free kick coming up for the Dewhawks. About 30 yards out of the net. Referee will back up the two Elmhurst players and Clements and Carino. Mark Histed will take the free kick for the Dewhawks. Line drive. King going up sky high. He got a piece of that one to push it over the top. Great look by Histed, and King stretching out and getting a hand on it to send it up over the top. Remember that one. Great chance for the Dewhawks. Equally great save by Nick King. Leads to the corner, however, for Loras. And Spencer Moore will have another opportunity. Fourth corner of the game for the Dewhawks. That one pinballed around, trapped in by Elmhurst, still not out, and now pushed downfield by the Blue Jays. Headed up by Arvidsson. Arvidsson controls. Pushing to the far side. Here comes help coming down the middle. Clements flying downfield. Arvidsson didn't have a good angle, though. Arvidsson, his shot attempt is blocked and pushed downfield by the Dewhawks. Clements made a long run downfield, and we got a Dewhawk player shaken up. We'll stop the clock as the referee will check on the injured player. It was Pachuski who got shaken up. I think he took that block for number 30. Kalman back in. Goal kick coming up for Elmhurst as the clock moving down to 38:20. Shots in the first half was 7-5. It's 3-1 here in the second half in favor of Loras. King with the save already early here on that free kick. Sent out in front of the Elmhurst bench. Throw in for the Dewhawks. Whistle and a foul from the linesman goes against the Dewhawks. And Dewhawks will come back the other way now. Elmhurst steers it back down that sideline, looking for the call from the official, and it will be a throw-in for the Blue Jays. Lob it on the far side. Arvidsson has his centering pass blocked, deflected. Collected by Simone for the Dewhawks. Simone has it taken away. Here's J.D. Garnett in the middle for Elmhurst. Plays ahead to Hicks. Martinez sliding up the near sideline. Elmhurst will play back to their defense. Loras putting some pressure on. Blue Jays get the pass away. Played into the middle to Clements. Clements. It's one man fall to his to the ground. Steps around, tries to center it towards a streaking Martinez cutting in. Headed back, Martinez was offsides. as the flag popped up. Nearly 10 minutes gone by in half number 2. 35-30 left to go. Peterson. Off the head of Simone, collected by Moore. Moore cutting back towards the middle. And that one sent on the ground. King tracks it down to the near side post. Sprawls out to collect that one. As Heastad's shot was on the ground. Bruins pops it into the air for the Dewhawks. Martinez lifts that one straight up into the lights. Now controlled by Loras and Broderick. Broderick playing towards the far side. King coming out. Over to slow it down is Bez, and King will wait and scoop it up. Heastad lost it out of bounds. Or excuse me, went off an Elmhurst player, so a throw-in coming for the Dewhawks near the Elmhurst bench. Andrew Hicks plays ahead to Arvidsson. Finds Clements, one of the fastest Blue Jays on the field, going down the far sideline, and a nice sliding play by the Dewhawks defense. Lobbed in, looking for Arvidsson, and steered out by the Blue Jays. Martinez pushing it back forward off the head. Trying to collect and get around is Garnett. Garnett turns, puts it on the ground, kept in, and the Dewhawks control. Whistle and a foul will go against the Blue Jays. And we're going to have a clock stoppage here. And a little warning to Luke Deal. He kind of slowed that one down a little bit. Just a warning for delay of game. Blasted back downfield by the Dewhawks. Elmhurst, could they keep it in? No, they could not. Corner kick now for Loras on the far side. Corner number 5 now for the Dewhawks. Far side, headed off an Elmhurst leg. Still kept in by the Dewhawks. Headed back out. Not able to clear for the Blue Jays momentarily. Now they comes out of the box off the bounce. Simone collects it though for Loras. Still loose. McDonald centering pass, and Broderick's shot is blocked, and Bruins blasts it well high. Putting Nelson in for the Blue Jays now as well. Headed on by Nelson. Here's Garnett. Leaves for Martinez. Martinez gets around one man, now plays back to Garnett. Garnett reversing directions. Tries to chip that one ahead to Martinez. It's smothered by Ross. Played back to space. This one will be headed into the box by Deal, so King can come out and scoop that one up. 14 minutes in the books of half number 2, still 1-1. Bruins sends that one downfield, collected by Moore. Moore working on Hicks, turns, gets a look, and shoots it well wide. Loras starting to come with the pressure, out shooting Elmhurst now 14-6. 7-1 in this half. Corner kicks 4-0 this half for the Dewhawks, after it was a 5-1 edge for Elmhurst in the first. Blue Jays got 3 in a row in the span of about a minute, but still had an edge on the set pieces. Loras definitely coming with the pressure, though, to start the second half. As we've played 1/3 of the second 45, 30 minutes left to go. Lobbed ahead, coming in, Elmhurst with a chance and a save. Coming out high in the box and getting a piece of it was Peterson. Maybe the best chance Elmhurst has had since their goal that they scored in the first half. Definitely the best chance of this half. Substitution for the Blue Jays. McNamara back. Arvidsson heads out. Clements will play the corner short. Tries to get off the blast on the comeback to him, and it's sliding play to take it away by Loras. Will play down the middle. King is going to come all the way out. Tried to clear it and just popped it straight into the air. It's still loose. Moore trying to trap it down with his chest. Moore collects for the Dewhawks. Martinez shadowing him. Moore turns, gets the centering pass across, and shifting it high and went off an Elmhurst leg. Excuse me. Broderick had his shot blocked. So Spencer Moore get another opportunity for the Dewhawks. 28-20 left to go. Headed, that one went off the football goalpost. That one was high by Broderick. Off of a Loras leg, throw in for the Blue Jays, 27.5 minutes left. Loras now out shooting the Blue Jays 16-7. A 9-2 edge in period number 2. Headed on by the Dewhawks. Popped into the air by Elmhurst, and Hicks giving chase is Nelson, but he can't get there, and Loras will have a throw in. Headed down, slides across the top. Here's Bruins. Turning, firing. Weatherby Johnson heads it right back out. Played out of bounds by Elmhurst. Another throw in for the Dewhawks. Long throw, headed right back out by Elmhurst. Bruins sets, takes a look. Blast that one across the top. There to get a leg on it was McDonald. His shot was blocked, and then a foul goes on the Dewhawks. Substitution for Elmhurst. Nelson out, Sam Johnson in. Johnson started the first half. Nelson started the second half in place of Johnson. Fresh legs coming in for the Blue Jays. Martinez and Ross battling for it in the air. Ross gets there first. Collision with Deal, and they were going to stop the clock here. Don't know if he showed the yellow card or not. If he did, that was awfully fast. Didn't see it from up here. So a free kick coming up for Hestad. Shot, and King sprawls down, makes that one fly into the air on the bounce. A nice save by Nick King. So another corner kick opportunity for the Dewhawks. This one a little ground ball. Pushed out by the Blue Jays. Some contact, play on. 20 minutes gone by. Loras will send the cross in one more time. Collected around, shot, blocked by the Blue Jays. And pushed out, was that a goal kick? Nope, it did not touch an Elmhurst leg. King with the goal kick. Off of an Elmhurst player right into the Dewhawk bench. So a throw in for Loras the other way. 24 minutes left in regulation, still 1-1. Here's Sam Johnson for the Blue Jays. Now a throw in for the Dewhawks on the far side. Popped into the air, the Dewhawks collect in front of their own bench. Playing to some space, centering pass. Broken up nicely by the Blue Jays and blasted back out on top. Johnson had it go off his leg. It spins right free to Martinez, and he'll blast it downfield. Here comes a foot race now. Clements trying to fly down that sideline, could not catch up to it. Shadowed off it enough that it'll be a goal kick coming up for the Dewhawks. Clements, one of the fastest players on the Elmhurst teams. Great speed, but a nice job by the Dewhawks to slow it down and force the goal kick. Popped into the air and alertly played by Martinez. We'll just head it back to King, who will field the high hop. King booms that one up into the lights. Volleyed down by Bruins and now finally played ahead by Deal. It'll roll into the top of the box where Peterson scoops it up. Peterson kicks that one away. Ross is there for the Dewhawks. Played off an Elmhurst defender out of play, and a throw in for the Dewhawks right at midfield. Couple bounces to the feet of Simone. Trying to work on Bez. Here's a cross. headed up into the air. And did it go over the line? No indication yet. And now there it is, that it did go over the goal line. Substitution for the Blue Jays. Austin Culver, one of the two back in. And here is Culver giving chase. Johnson takes it away for the Blue Jays. Johnson trying to get a step to the inside. Blasts his cross off the leg of a Dewhawk player, and a corner kick coming for the Blue Jays. Arvidsson headed out for Culver. Corner number 7 for Elmhurst. Blue Jays will play it short. Clements streaking in, going towards the far side. Pushes it back out high towards the top of the box where it's collected by Elmhurst. Working to get free was Weatherby Janssen. Pushed ahead, now whistle and a foul, and this one's going to go against Loras. And the Blue Jays will have an opportunity here as Johnson hit the turf. Good opportunity here for the Blue Jays, as the referee putting that ball right at the 10-yard line for the football mark, so about 20 yards out of the net. See how Elmhurst wants to play it. Clements there, and now he will backtrack towards the middle. Line drive kick is pushed over the top. By McNamara. Liam O'Connell back for the Dewhawks as we roll down to under 20 minutes to go. Martinez defending O'Connell. O'Connell towards the top of the box. Hestad turns, shoots it well wide. Shot number 20 now for the Dewhawks. They have been bringing the pressure this half. Out shooting Elmhurst 13-3 in the second. But just 3 of those 13 have been on goal here in half number 2. Another goal kick for King. Headed down by Loras. Hestad to the corner. To Ross. Ross collects. Ross working his way towards the middle. Still with some pace. Now stripped of it by Elmhurst. And sent back towards midfield. Collecting is Culver. Culver's got Johnson down the middle if he can find him. Culver trying to get around his man. Culver centering pass is off the leg of a Dewhawk player. Throw in for Elmhurst. "17 minutes, 50 seconds, all that remains in regulation right now. J.D. Garnett will come over and take the lob for Elmhurst. Garnett plays it short. Trapped down off the chest of Clemens. Steps around his defender, shooting and pushed it just wide. Nice move by Clemens. Got around his defender, got a clean look, and just pushed it wide of the post. Peterson with the goal kick. Ross there for the Dewhawks. Ross, 20 yards out, winds and blasts it high and wide. And a whole mess of subs for Loras coming in. Some fresh legs for the Dewhawks. Singleton, Fiaro, and Herrera all enter the contest as we're down to 16:10 left to go in regulation. Trying to come through. Taken away clean by the Blue Jays and McNamara. Ahead to Clements. Got Culver to the near side. Out of the box to field is Peterson. Johnson trying to keep it in. Yes, he does. Peterson still trying to get back into the net, and now he does. Great recovery by Peterson. Touchback Johnson. Johnson has his centering pass go off a leg and a corner kick. A dangerous play by the Dewhawks. And Peterson, as if Johnson could have kept control, he had a wide open net with Peterson way out of the box. Clemens will tee it up towards the middle, headed out by the Dewhawks. There to collect is Deal. Deal driving that one back in. It will one hop into the arms of Peterson. Here come the Dewhawks looking to counter. Ground ball centering pass is swept out by Weatherby Janssen. Pinballs off a few players, comes free to Bruins. Touched ahead now right in front of the Dewhawk bench is Perhatz. Lost it out of play though. It'll be a throw in for Elmhurst on the far sideline. Under 15 minutes to go in regulation. Still 1-1. Elmhurst loses it to the Dewhawks here. That one bounces into the box. Hicks will flick it backwards. Culver controls in the middle for Elmhurst. Turns, fires, just to get it clear, and Berardi will play it back to Peterson. But Johnson will put some pressure on. Peterson will come up to the top and scoop it up. That one short, looked like it came up and got the arm of Singleton. Play on, says the official. The Dewhawks maintain possession. Boy, that was right in front of us up here in the press box. Ball bounced up and caught him clean on the arm. No call, play on. And stood up by Elmhurst, and it will go off the Dewhawks to Elmhurst. So I don't necessarily agree with that one, so maybe we even things up here on the calls here. As a whole set of subs again. Arvidsson back for the Blue Jays. Alfaro back. And McGarry back for the Dewhawks. Trying to keep some fresh legs out for both squads as we're down to 12:20 to go in regulation. Still a scoreless second half, 1-1 overall. Martinez will lob it into Clements. Clements trying to get the motor running towards the top of your screen. To Carino now for Elmhurst, and he will play that one all the way back to the defense. Weatherby Janssen doesn't like what he has, plays back to the feet of Nick King. Pressure coming, and the Blue Jays will just swing it around. Deal. Had to hurry to get that one with pressure coming from the Dewhawks. Johnson is there for Elmhurst. Pulled down, had it momentarily, and then stripped by Loras and McDonald. Aiming far side. Not offside to the Dewhawks. Line drive kick. King with the save. Alex Herrera with the shot. King laid out, extended to knock it wide and bring it back towards the middle, and there was no one there for the Dewhawks. Whistle and a foul on Loras as an Elmhurst player down in front of the Dewhawk bench. Ten minutes, 50 seconds left to go. Free kick for the Blue Jays in front of the Loras bench. It'll roll all the way over the end line. Goal kick coming for Loras, another Elmhurst substitution. Jason Rhodes gets his first action of the contest with 10 minutes to go. Sam Johnson out, so some fresh legs up front for the Blue Jays, and right involved is Rhodes, and the whistle will go against Rhodes, and Elmhurst fans, Elmhurst bench not happy with the call. So Loras with a free kick just across midfield. And the Dewhawks ready to send some starters back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players set to come in at the next throw-in or goal kick. In the meantime, Bruins chips it ahead. Bounces in, whistle, and we've got a foul on the Dewhawks in the box. King will play it short to his defense. Right back to King. This one steered towards midfield. It'll bounce out. Here come all those subs for the Dewhawks. Looks like most of the starters coming back. Throw into the far side. Opportunity for the Dewhawks centering pass. Poked back out by the Blue Jays. Elmhurst gave some pressure there to clear it back out of play. There's Loras, though. In the middle, Clements. Here's Hicks. Plays it out, a corner kick coming for Elmhurst. Corner kick number 9 of the game for the Blue Jays. Both teams have had their chances off set pieces. Neither able to capitalize yet. Clements into the middle and pushed wide by Arvidsson. Seven minutes, 5 seconds to go. Loras out shooting Elmhurst 2-1, but both of them have put 6 on goal. 5 saves apiece for each keeper tonight. Peterson Sends it across midfield. It's headed back to an Elmhurst player. That's Hicks. On to Rhodes. Rhodes couldn't collect it off his foot out of bounds, and a throw in for Loras on the near sideline. McDonald. Double team pressure immediately on Simone. He lost it momentarily, but Loras wins it back. Spencer Moore went off of Moore, so a throw in for Elmhurst with 6.5 to go. We'll back up Martinez a little bit. Hit the head of Rhodes and then went off the head of McDonald. Another throw in for Elmhurst. This one about 30 yards further up. Martinez with the throw in. Right at midfield. Moore plays towards the far side. Too far for Ryan Ross, and a throw in for Elmhurst right in front of the Dewhawk bench. 5 minutes, 40 seconds left in regulation. Still 1-1. Lost that one in front of the Elmhurst bench was Histed. So here's the Blue Jays now. Griffin Andes touched ahead. Elmhurst with control. Clements trying to split a couple defenders, can't do it. Who'd that go off of? It goes to Elmhurst. And whistle and a clock stop here as an Elmhurst player shaken up. And in some pain on the ground. It looks like that might be Clements. It is Zach Clements. Not a good sign for Elmhurst. Clements calling for some water. I wonder if this might just be, hoping it's just some cramping up going out on the field right now. Clock stop, 5:07 to go while they tend to the injury. Loras and Elmhurst 1-1. Clements is to his feet now, trying to hobble off a little bit. Walking off under his own power at least. And definitely chugging the water, so we hope there's just a cramp right now for the Blue Jay player. As it is a hot night here in mid to late September. It was almost 90 degrees out here in Elmhurst earlier today. Kind of what you expect at the beginning of September, not as it goes later in the month of September. Here comes a throw in for Elmhurst as the clock rolls again. Headed down by the Blue Jays, lobbed out by Bruins. Moore volleys that one all the way across midfield. Collecting is Simone. Simone with some space. Now slowed down by Elmhurst and taken away by the Blue Jays. And there's going to be a whistle. Simone was riding the back the whole way down on Griffin Andes. Referee waited until they lost advantage, and that one was clear it was coming. You could see the arm wrapped all the way around the back of Andes. So King will come up out of the net to take this one. With 4.5 minutes to go, they'll whistle it back, put it down to the 20-yard line or so. King spins that one near the 10-yard line. Andes had it, and a whistle will go on Griffin Andes for the foul as the clock winds down to 5 minutes. Peterson booms that one across midfield. Towards the top of the box, it's headed straight back out by Elmhurst. Here's Arvidsson. Working on Bruins. Will chip to the near side and Rhodes. He's got the fresh legs for the Blue Jays. Touchdown to Andes. Andes to the corner. Rhodes giving chase. being shadowed off the ball, and nicely done by Berardi. Loras had the advantage early on with some pressure. Blue Jays have had some opportunities here in the second half late. As the clock coming down, 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Peterson's kick taken away by Hicks. Loose in some space. Moore is there for the Dewhawks. And now a whistle and a foul goes against David Bez and a clock stoppage. No card, just a clock stoppage, as they'll give Loras the opportunity to set this up. 2:51. Moore triggers the restart. King coming out off the line will take that one out of the air and boot it downfield, trying to find Arvidsson. It's headed back by Berardi. Perhatz with 2.5 to go. Ross on the far sideline, keeping it in, cuts back towards the center. Ross with the drive and pushed it well high. If this game's still tied after regulation, we will have a pair of 10-minute sudden death overtime periods. King, line drive kick across midfield. Headed into the air, and it will go straight out of play, and a throw in far sideline for the Blue Jays. Griffin Andes will put it in play for Elmhurst. He's going to take the long run up, try to lob this one into the box. Andes headed on by Arvidsson. Did it touch a Loras head? Yes, it did. Corner kick for Elmhurst. This is Garnett with Clements out. It looks like it's Garnett taking the corner kick for the Blue Jays now, as we're down to 1:10 left in regulation. J.D. Garnett sends his kick back around. Nobody there for Elmhurst or Loras. It went off a Loras player, though. Throw in for the Blue Jays. 53 seconds to go. Elmhurst will try one more time. Griffin Andes will play it short to Martinez. Down to 38 seconds to go. Martinez with the chip. Headed out by Loras. Not clear yet. Hicks turns and fires it into the nets! Lucas Weatherby-Wenson actually with the goal. With 31 seconds left to go in regulation, the Blue Jays may just pull off the stunner here against the Dewhawks. So here we go, clock winding, 30 seconds. Elmhurst packing everybody back defensively. Here comes Peterson, charging out, 25 seconds to go. Trying to get it cleared, not out yet. Whistle, and it goes against Loras. Has not signaled to stop the clock yet, so it's winding down to 12 seconds, and this is going to be it. Elmhurst will wind the rest of it off. 6 seconds, 5, 4. King will just blast it downfield into space, and the Blue Jays have defeated Loras 2-1 at Longhorst Field. A huge win for Elmhurst College tonight, as the late goal from the Blue Jays coming off of that throw-in. We'll talk you through it one more time into what happened. Griffin Andes had the throw in with just over 40 seconds. He played it short to Martinez. Martinez tried the cross on the far side. It was headed by a Loras player, collected, and just fired back into space for the goal. And that is all she wrote as the Blue Jays come away victorious 2-1. So the final score here from Elmhurst College, Elmhurst 2, Loras 1. The Blue Jays pick up the victory. They go 4-1-2 on the season. Dewhawks fall to 4-3. That's it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. This is Kevin Juday for our cameraman, producer, director Ashley Liljeberg saying so long, everybody. Make sure you're back with us for football action coming your way on Saturday and a triple header of football and soccer on September 30th. So long, everybody.